What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Llanos. I'm back again. It's gonna be completely different. Not gonna be talking about music. I may talk about music if an album like truly brings something out of me that I want to share with the public and what I think needs to be put out to the world, and say like if it's an unknown artist or if one of the more mainstream artists dropped something that I thought was really good and I'd want to talk about it. Aside from that, I want to make this channel more sports related. That was my first passion, and that's my dream. I want to be a sports broadcaster, or I don't know, maybe a content creator focused around sports, something like that, but more sports broadcaster, radio person, anything like that. So that is what the channel is going to be turning into. I thought it was going to be the other way around, but now I want to focus on the passion, and that is sports. I feel like music is more of a hobby and like a secondary passion. Sports is something I live, breathe, and eat every single day. I have the ESPN app. I be checking all the scores. And the first thing on the docket to start this new start to the channel, a fresh start to the channel, would be the CFP National Championship game for the 2020 college football season, a season in which we almost didn't happen due to COVID-19, but we got there somehow, and it was, lo and behold, blue bloods, powerhouses, number 1 Alabama versus number 3 Ohio State. And let me say, Ohio State got eviscerated, they got bodied, they got dogged. Unfortunately, they ran into a buzzsaw. And before I break down anything, honestly, this is gonna show my bias, but I'm kind of over this being the Alabama Invitational. Over my years watching college football, I would say like since 2012 or 2013, one of those 2 years, I may go, no, I don't think I can go far as back as 2011. I will say right now it is like the Alabama Invitational, because they've won 7. I know Nick has won 7 national titles. I think 7 with Alabama or 6 with Alabama, and then the 1 with LSU. But amazing football coach. Well, college football coach. He didn't do too well in his 1 season in the league, but that's beside the point. Another national title, and it is number 3 or 4 in the CFP era. I'm trying to remember, because they split with Clemson 16 and 17, and then they had the 1 year where Trevor Lawrence kind of like dogged them, and he looked like the second coming of Peyton in that game. But overall, with a lot more athleticism, to say the least. So 1 and 2, then they have the 1 win over Clemson, then they beat Georgia in overtime with Tua. So that's 2 and 2, and then yesterday 3 and 2. Yeah. Although I think they've been to 5 out of the 7 CFP title games. That's a little ridiculous, unfortunately. So like I said, it's the Alabama Invitational. This is Ohio State's second CFP appearance since 2014, where they were the inaugural champions over Oregon. But yesterday, like I said, they ran to a buzzsaw. That offense is legit, and more than anything, to put emphasis on anything, they have one of the best wide receiver prospects. Although Justin Jefferson for the Vikings had a really good year for LSU, and Jamar Chase is really good too. Although he hasn't gone to the league, he stayed in LSU. Even though those two are dynamic receivers, and one was like technically a top 10 receiver in the league already, in terms of stats, obviously. I would say Devontae Smith looks scary, dude. He got injured in the second half, and I don't know why Ohio State decided to go 1-on-1. I'm not sure. I don't know what they did, but they played zone coverage, and they decided to go with death by 1,000 paper cuts and hope to see they can keep them to field goals. Obviously didn't work, because they lost 52-24. And my man's had 12 receptions for 215 yards in 3 TDs. This dude was on his Tyreek Hill diet, essentially, for the first half. And for Ohio State's sake, I wish he would have never gotten injured, because it's a shame that he got injured, because I would have loved to see what kind of stats this dude would have put up, because he was putting up video game numbers. And I'm not gonna lie, throughout the season, they were the best offense. Mac Jones was accurate, passing it, dishing it out, having the best wide receiver, and I would say the best running back in Najee Harris. Like that offensive line, they just pump out players into the league, has so much time to throw. Their running game is great. Literally, they had the best quarterback, the best running back, multiple awards for the offensive line, I think, and the best receiver in the Heisman Trophy winner in Devontae Smith. Dude had 20 touchdowns as a receiver. I have never seen that before. Although I've seen some like video game numbers. Like I've seen some 17, 18 touchdown seasons. That like 20 touchdowns in college football, that's a little ridiculous. And adding to his totals with freaking 215 and 3 more. What more else can you say? On the Ohio State side, it is unfortunate. I feel like it would have been slightly more competitive if Trey Sermon hadn't got hurt, and if Justin Fields hadn't gotten... He took a hit in that semifinal game against Clemson. Honestly, it might have been slightly more competitive, but from a defensive standpoint, I don't think they would have been able to keep up in a shootout. I think that would have fizzled out later, to say the least. And overall, I feel like Alabama winning was like a foregone conclusion. So yeah, that is my takes on it. They got completely outgained. Like Alabama had almost 650 yards. I think outside it had 360. Time of possession goes to Alabama. They had it 37-22, almost 40-20. And if that is the case, that defense is going to get gassed and gashed. So yeah, disappointed because it is the Alabama Invitational. And I have Alabama fatigue. Not the biggest fan of dynasties, but it is what it is. Kind of hypocritical. And most would want me to be subjective. And if it were my team, I would obviously not be against a dynasty, to say the least. So gotta keep it both ways. Gotta keep it 100. But if you want my honest feelings, not a fan of the Alabama Invitational at this point. Yeah, so congratulations to Alabama and to everybody who got this season going during these trying times. That's it for me, man. Hope to see more. Hopefully this is gonna be the start to me to be doing content creation more consistently. I'm still in semester break, so there are going to be plenty of things to talk about. There's divisional matchups for the NFL, NBA. There can be a crazy game here or there, or to my own discretion what I want to talk about. And I'll add even football or soccer in English. Gotta represent the roots. I could talk La Liga. I could talk Premier League. MLS finished. Yeah, Champions League is next month. Nat'l Champions, all the good stuff. Yeah, so soccer, football, football, Americano, Norteamericano, all that good stuff. Gotta represent my... gotta try to speak Spanish. I want to be bilingual. It's kind of embarrassing that the roots never got passed down. Kind of an unnecessary detail, but that is my analysis for the college football championship game. It's your boy Daniel Llanos, and hopefully it's the start to me talking about more sports. I'll catch you guys on the next one, and I might do a video tomorrow to talk about Premier League standings. That's it for me, man. Catch you guys in the next one.